G'day guys, welcome to my RSY's Victor video. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about Hyundai Aleague for Week 10's recap preview for 2021 guys, so let's get started. So this first game of that match, we see the Perth Glory going up against the Brisbane Roar. Now, what I can tell about this game was an absolutely exclusional match. Really splintering like halves in these two teams. The Perth Glory were absolutely really good into that team. I thought to myself that if these two sides were clashing each other for a really good win, they were absolutely really doubtful they were. But it comes down to these two teams obviously winning or losing. But it was 3-1 the scoreline for that game, and Perth Glory obviously won that game for sure, and they obviously did. And 2 goals went to Diego Castro, 1 goal went to Bruno Fornaroli, and the other one for Brisbane Roar went to Jack Hingett. He's the only one that basically scored for the Brisbane Roar side. And what I can tell by this game was an absolutely splintering game. I knew for a fact that the Perth Glory were going to make an effort for that team, and they obviously did. So well done for you guys for making a really good team and obviously winning this game for sure. And what I can tell by this game, I really did think that they were really excruciating for that side, and they obviously did. And what I can tell by this game, I thought to myself that really the Brisbane Roar didn't really make an effort, and I feel so sorry for them. And I know for a fact that I thought to myself that they were going to make an effort, and they didn't really, unfortunately. But they were trying really hard, making a really good effort for that team, and yeah, I thought to myself, if this team was going to make an effort, it was definitely a Perth Glory win for sure, and they also did 3-1 anyway. So yeah, well done for that side anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Western Sydney Wanderers going up against the Adelaide United. Now, really what I can say about this game, it was absolutely really good, and I thought to myself in this game that the Western Sydney Wanderers were really close into making that a really good win, but unfortunately though, the Adelaide United only just won in this game. And I thought, why not make an effort if you want to basically run into that half and obviously splintering into tightness of that game. But unfortunately though, the Western Sydney Wanderers only just lost by 1 point in that game. And what I can say about this game, I thought to myself, in this game, really didn't go as planned by the Western Sydney Wanderers, and they also didn't. But the Adelaide United really rode in that team to make an effort in that match, and obviously they are really splintering my team that just made a really good win for that match, and they obviously did for sure. But the 2 goals went to Mitchell Duke, and I'm not sure who the other one was. But 3 goals went to Craig Goodwin, Stefan Mock, and Mohamed Toure. I'm not sure if it's Toure or Toure, so Toure. I'm not too sure about that. Yeah. So yeah, really great win for this team. The Adelaide United really are a nice team that just makes an effort every single time they play, but they really work hard and obviously make an effort for that club. But yeah, well done to the Adelaide United for only just making a win. It's 3-2 for that scoreline, and unfortunately Western Sydney Wanderers didn't make an effort, but they obviously tried hard and made, unfortunately, a loss for that team anyway. So the next game of that match, we see the Melbourne Victory going up against the Western United. Now, I know for sure that this game was absolutely really potential, and I know for a fact that this game was going to turn out as planned, but I didn't really thought to myself that in this type of match that really didn't go as planned, but Melbourne Victory led on to that game, and then obviously I think in the second half the Western United just clashed on and basically won that game. It's sad to say that Melbourne Victory aren't a good team, but unfortunately though, they were making a really good effort into that game, but unfortunately though, the Western United basically thrashed them 4-3 in that game. Really splendid scoreline of that match. I thought to myself, Melbourne Victory have won a couple of games, but it's not to say that in this type of game, I thought to myself, in that game, the Melbourne Victory are a really good team. And so, in that match, in the case of that, the Western United are a really good team. But, and so on in that game, I just thought the Western United, I thought to myself, if the Western United weren't going to win that game, basically Melbourne Victory were going to win that game. And for that type of taste in that match, I really did think that in that game really put on a lot of pressure into that match. But yeah, 4-3 the scoreline, and yeah, well done to Western United for making a really good win against the Melbourne Victory anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Sydney FC going up against the Newcastle FC. Now, in this game was absolutely really tight. I thought to myself, in this game, really didn't go as planned, but in that match, really was tight, average, really put on a lot of game of performance, but I didn't think that in that game really didn't go as planned by the Sydney FC. Because in this game, these two teams are a really good side and so tight, average. They clash by going hard at each other and so on and so on. So in that game was basically 1-0 for that scoreline, and the only person that basically scored for the Macarthur FC is Matt Derbyshire. He's a really good player for that side. He's an absolute top finisher for that team, and I reckon he'll benefit for his club to basically grow for his club anyway. And for the Sydney FC, I know that you guys didn't win that game, but may think in the next round, in the next games that you play, I think that you basically will win, and depends who basically verse, and yeah, it's gonna be a really tough season for you guys. But yeah, I just thought to myself, the Sydney FC are a really good team, but sometimes they don't really finish well for their team and for their club anyway. But in my opinion though, the Sydney FC are a really good team, and I just think that they didn't really finish as planned. But yeah, well done from the Macarthur FC for basically winning 1-0 against the Sydney FC. The next game of that match, we see the Newcastle Jets going up against the Wellington Phoenix. Now, this one was really important because, in my opinion, in that game was absolutely rubbish by these two teams. And the Newcastle Jets didn't really put on an effort, which was really disappointing for their side. But it was 2-0 for that scoreline, and Ben Wayne and David Ball were the only two players from the Wellington Phoenix that basically scored for their club and for their team anyway, which that means Newcastle Jets didn't really make an effort in that match. And I thought to myself, Newcastle Jets going up against the Wellington Phoenix, like higher up going up against a lower team, like the second, or I'd say the last team, and they basically won that game. And I cannot believe that Newcastle Jets didn't win this game. And I knew for a fact that the Wellington Phoenix were basically going to get a win, and they obviously did. And in my opinion, though, that was a surprising win for that game. 2-0 for that scoreline, and I just had to say, really disappointing by the Newcastle Jets, but a really good finish by the Wellington Phoenix. So, in my opinion about this team, I just had to say, like, by the Wellington Phoenix, I reckon they will grow, but I don't think they will be in the top 6 or the top 4 for their side. And in my opinion, though, what I can say about the Wellington Phoenix, I will think that they will finish like in the top of that season for that ladder. But yeah, I reckon for that, yeah, well done from the Wellington Phoenix for making a really good win, 2-0 against the Newcastle Jets anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Western Sydney Wanderers going up against the Melbourne City. Now, in this game, I thought, why not make a really good effort if you basically want to win that game for sure? But it's not a definite yes. But the Melbourne City were making a really good team for themselves and basically really making a win for themselves. And also, in my opinion about this team, I really did think that the Melbourne City made a really good effort by basically winning this game. And it was basically 2-0 for that scoreline. Jamie McLaren basically scored 2 goals for Melbourne City to make it 2-0 for that scoreline. But the Western Sydney Wanderers, I didn't think that they were gonna win, but they're just shocking across the park, and I just didn't think that they were gonna win against this good quality side. And in my opinion about this team, I did think that, in my opinion though, the Western Sydney Wanderers are just not a great side. And in my opinion about this team, like, sometimes they make a really good win, sometimes they don't. And it's how the way you want to verse teams, like different types of teams. Like some of them, if you verse like the lower grade side, yeah, okay, you make a good win. But then sometimes if you verse higher grade side, and what I mean by that is higher grade side, like the Sydney FC, the Melbourne City, stuff like that, it will make a really good leadership. But the opposite team will basically win that. But yeah, well done from the Melbourne City for making a really good win against the Western Sydney Wanderers anyway, 2-0. And last but certainly not least, we see the Perth Glory going up against the Central Coast Mariners. Now, in this game, the Mariners are a really good team. They are still first on the ladder, and in my opinion about this team, they are a really top finishing team. But they're not really a suitable club that just doesn't equalise properly. But they are a really good team. And Matt Simon and Marco Urena was the only 2 players that basically scored for the Central Coast Mariners. And the only player that basically scored for the Perth Glory side was the only person in that game. No, the only player in that game was Bruno Fornaroli. But yeah, it made it 2-1 for that scoreline, and basically the Central Coast Mariners basically won that game for sure. So, in my opinion in this game, a really good matchup, but they didn't really make an effort for the Perth Glory side. But in my opinion in this game, I did think that they were really equalising really well, and they obviously did. And in my opinion about this game, I just didn't think that they were really not equalising properly. But it's not to say that they are a really bad team. The Perth Glory side are a really good team, and they obviously are. But for the Central Coast Mariners, they were finishing like last year, they were finishing like terrible down below, and I don't know how the hell they're just finishing up high. and they just keep doing that, and that just really surprises me. But yeah, really well done from the Central Coast Mariners for basically beating the Perth Glory side 2-1 for that scoreline. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. I will be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care guys, stay safe, and have a good one. Plus, let's get up to 200 subscribers. We're seeing 197 anyway, so let's get up to that. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.